Hey everyone, thank you so much for stopping by today. I've got a couple of molds I want to do. I've been working on a tray mold for a friend, so I want to work on that today. And then also I got this really cute mold. I think it's just a trinket jar, but it has these really cute flowers around the edges. I'm not sure if you can see those, but they're really cute. And it has these lines down the side. So I thought we would try it with Resincrete. It is a shiny mold, so we can also do it in resin, but I thought I would give it a try in Resincrete first, see what I think, maybe paint the flowers afterwards. I think it'll be a beautiful finish. So I'm kind of excited to give that a go. And then I am gonna just do this tray mold. I have some Cricut vinyl that I've cut out to put on it as well. So I'm gonna do this with Resincrete. Resincrete is a casting powder and it comes in bags that look like this. I love the silver bag. I know, isn't that ridiculous that you look at something and go, ah, I love the bag, but I do. It's a 10-3, so I just basically go, okay, 100 grams of powder to 30 grams of water. I think these two molds combined are gonna end up being about 600 grams, I think. So I'll do 600 grams of powder and then 180 grams of water. And we'll just mix that up. We'll get all of the lumps out of it and then we'll pour it. And then the fun happens once everything is already poured. So let's get started. Okay, oh, and I want to tell you too, I don't know, do you guys order clothes online and get them in these anti-static bags? I save all of my bags and then I just put my mold in there to keep them from getting dirt or dust or anything else. And it's so perfect. It keeps everything out of them. So anytime I get clothes online or anything like that, I just put them in these bags. I have a whole stack of these. It's kind of ridiculous. Okay, so let's get mixing up some Resincrete. I'm just gonna give the table, or just gonna give this a little bit of a tap. Make sure if there's any air bubbles that are down. There's just this little, what do you call it? The top of it, the holder piece, the little pointy piece. Just wanna make sure there aren't any bubbles down in there. So I'm just gonna give it a really, really good tap and just make sure that we get all of those bubbles out. Gonna fill that up. I'm seeing a few lumps come in. And with Resincrete, I don't like to dome it because then that just means more sanding for me to have to do. So I do want to take just a little tool and run it around the inside edge just to be sure there aren't any air bubbles up underneath there. Since they do love to hide in those angles. I'm gonna put just a tiny, tiny bit more in there, not much at all. Just a tiny little bit to fill it up all the way, and then we're gonna call that good. Okay, now I'm gonna fill up the other mold. Just gonna give it a stir. Resincrete doesn't have a lot of working time. It's about 10 minutes, so I can already feel it starting to get thick. So I just want to get that poured really quickly. But I have to clean up my mess as I go. If I don't, it will bother me. It will cause me stress. So I'm just gonna fill this one up. And I'll do the same thing about maybe halfway. I'll give it a little tap, a little bit of a squeeze. Just make sure we get any of those bubbles to hopefully come up to the surface. I do worry a little bit about those flowers, since those flowers are pretty detailed. I do worry a little bit that bubbles might get trapped in some of them. But Resincrete's pretty forgiving, honestly. It's pretty watery. So I feel like it's a good medium. If you're gonna do an eco pour, I feel like it's a good medium for this. Okay. And I thought I was gonna have enough to do my tray and, whoops, I have a feeling this is going to distort. I don't have enough to do my tray and those, so I have these two. These are mystery molds. I have no idea what they are. Someone gifted them to me. So I think I'm just going to, I don't know, throw a little pigment in there before this gets too thick, even though I can feel it already getting there. Throw a little Resincrete pigment in there. How about some purple today? J Diction has this great line of Resincrete dyes. You can use Resincrete, the dyes, or you can use Homeware Design Co. has some beautiful dyes. You can also use acrylic paint if you wanted to go that route. You just have to be careful about your ratios anytime you're mixing anything in with one of the casting powders. You just don't want to have an issue. Okay, and I'm still going to have a little bit left. All right, well, that's okay. We'll just give this a little bit of a tap because these also look like they have some intricate pieces within them. And then we can demold this together and find out what it is. And then I have this one. We'll just get rid of the rest of this. And then we'll come back and demold, which is amazing because demold on Resincrete is about half an hour. So it's a super fast demold. And look, I still have some left. All right, what other molds do I have? I have these. Now you probably can't see them, but they're little ruin molds. I'll just fill these up. Also, make sure if you're using any of the casting powder, resin itself, anything like that, that you don't put this stuff down your sink. So when you need to wash out your bowls and things like that, whatever you do, don't do it in your sink. It can clog up your pipes and destroy your entire system. So what I do is a couple of different things. One, I take a paper towel and I wipe out the bowl and get out as much of the mixture as I can. And then once I get that out, then I just wash out the bowl either outside or I'll do it inside, just like in a bucket, not in the sink. Then once it's completely cleaned out and you've got everything all gone out of the bowl, then you can certainly wash it in the sink then if you wanted to. But I never do. I never wash these in the sink, even though once they're all rinsed out, you can. But I just never do. I just use the same bowl over and over again for Resincrete, so it doesn't really matter. And then I'm just going to take and wipe out the excess. And then I'm going to go wash this. And then I'll see everybody back here in just the blink of an eye for you, about 30 minutes. Right. It's been 30 minutes and some of these are still pretty darn warm. So I'm going to give that just a little bit and start with everything else first and see what we got going on. Okay, so this was one of the mystery molds that I had no idea what it was. Still don't. Oh, whoops. That's well, that would have been really pretty. I think this must be like a lid to the trinket box. That would have been really pretty had I not, well, had a giant piece missing. And it must not have ever gotten filled because it's not in the mold either. So, all right. So that now we know what this is. This is a lid. So this must be the trinket tray itself. A little tiny jewelry box of some sort. And this actually turned out really pretty. Now I'm sad that the lid is broken because how cute is that? Oh, it's so cute. I will have to make this again. Note to self, Resincrete at 30 minutes is not solid yet. It's still curing. I will have to make this again. And now that I know what it is, try a little bit harder. Ha! Okay. Well, you know what? It's super cute. So we will definitely be trying that again. Okay. And so this one is just the heart. I love this heart. It's so pretty. I do it in resin all the time when I have extras. It's just beautiful. I just love it. I mean, it just is so pretty. And I think I just need to knock that heart out there. Knock the back of this out. Okay. All done. The thing about Resincrete is amazing is that once you demold after 30 minutes, it's still very soft and pliable. As we saw by my broken piece there, but it's soft and pliable. And so if you have some trimming that you need to do, whether it be on the bottom or on the side, something like that, it's really easy to do right after you demold it. Now, I know that the instructions say that you're supposed to wait a little bit before you do the trimming, and I think that's because they don't want you to accidentally break the piece like that one. But yeah, if you're careful, I find it to be the best time to try to sand it down. And so these are just some runes that my daughter collects. I don't know why. She just has a thing for these little things. And they're cute, and they make it just so easy. When you have extra resin, it's just perfect. Have a little bit extra there. So yeah, these take, gosh, I mean, I don't even know how much they take. Barely anything. So if you have a drip or two, they're the perfect mold to put those into. Okay, so let's get these out of the way. And with all eco casting powders, you do need to let them fully dry before you do anything to them. So I just really want to demold this. I really want to see what this looks like, but I'm also a little bit nervous. It's still kind of warm. Just don't want to break any of the pieces off. As we've already seen. Oh, and I got a bubble. Ah! There's a bubble right there. I tried so hard not to have a bubble there. All right. Well, let's see if we can get this out. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, I like that. That's really pretty. Ah, if it wasn't for that one little piece. But goodness, that's so beautiful. I love that. Oh my gosh. And the way it feels. So Resincrete is kind of, it's heavy, I guess is what I'm trying to say. It's heavy. So this little lid weighs quite a bit. And it just has, I don't know, that's one thing that I wish resin was a little bit different. I wish that resin it had more weight to it, because when you pick up something that's made out of just regular resin, it sometimes just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel as nice because it doesn't have that heft to it. I feel like I like that feeling, that heftiness. I'm gonna just do this against me so that I can get it out. It's a really tight mold. And I'm trying to be really careful so I don't accidentally break anything. Oh, I think I'm in love. Oh no. Oh, I knew that was misshapen. Oh, darn it. Well, I was in love, and then I saw that. Oh, that's too bad. That's when I moved the mold, when I scooted it across my table, and it must have caved in, and I didn't notice it. Well, that means the lid is not going to fit either. Oh, that is terrible. All right. But you know what? It's stunning. I mean, it's beautiful. It came out. The finish is gorgeous. Not a bubble in sight. I mean, this is a beautiful mold. Had I not done that to it, it would have been just fine. Oh, that's unfortunate. All right. Well, you know what? I will remake this and then we'll paint it. And then I think that will be stunning. Until then, this is perfect for for my desk, for my, I can keep brushes in this, I can keep Q-tips in this, whatever I need on my craft table, I can just keep it in here because frankly, I don't care if it's, well, that's not true. I do care, but it doesn't bother me that there is that deformation there. Okay, so far we have a broken trinket box, which will be really cute when I redo it. And whoops! And a very deformed little jar here. All right, what's next? Okay, dare we try the tray lest my cursed energy today gets the better of us? All right, let's flip this over and see. Fingers crossed. Oh, that's pretty. That turned out really nice, actually. Yeah, that's beautiful. Just simple and plain. And actually just really perfect for what I'm going to use it for. This is going to end up being a gift for a friend. And it is so smooth and so silky. I wish you could feel it. It's just, I'm just running my fingers around the edge to see if there's any sharp edges from where there might be like a little tiny micro bubble or something like that. You get those every once in a while. And then I'm just going to grab a nail file. And then there's just like the tiniest little piece right here. That was just a little bit jagged. Oops. And there's another one right here. Just super, I mean, just, you can't even really see it. You can just feel it. And you can just run your nail file along that and it will just smooth it out. Oops. A little bit here. Little tiny micro bubble right there. You can also take your craft knife if you don't want to use a nail file. And just run your craft knife along there too, and that'll just take it right off. Yeah, I love it. I think this is great. So I'm gonna let all of these things dry. I am not going to paint this. I was originally going to, but I'm not, just because, well, because it has a little bit of an imperfection, and so does the lid. So I'm not gonna actually paint this, but that's okay. I will make another one and we'll try that again, because I think that this jar has such potential. When this like actually comes out to be the correct shape, I think it's gonna be gorgeous. All right, friends, so I'm gonna let these dry probably 48 hours and then I'll come back to you. Okay, I have to confess, after this, I had to do it again. I had to try and just see if I could fix it, because this is gorgeous. I mean, it's so beautiful that I really wanted this to be the right size. So I made it again. I mean, it's Resincrete. It only takes 30 minutes. So I did give it about an hour before demolding, or before coming here to demold. I wanted it to kind of cool off a little bit. Earlier when I demolded, it was pretty warm still, and it always makes me nervous. You know, I don't want to snap off any pieces or anything like that. So a little bit of overspill here. Okay, let's see if we can get this out. And there's another bubble. There's two. Why? Oh, come on, you guys. There's a bunch of bubbles. What the heck? All right, I will win. I will conquer this. Everything else is gorgeous and perfect. It's just that. Okay. All right, you know what? I can repour that lid. I can repour lids all day long until I get it right. All right. Here's the real test. It looks like it's Oh, no, it looks like it's not perfectly in shape. All right, let's go find out. This mold is really tight too. Okay. Well, maybe it's okay. And there's a hole in there. Gosh darn it. Okay, so this time it did come out. It came out the right size, I think. Let's see if the lid fits. Put this back together. My goodness, this mold is gonna be, goodness. Okay, so it looks like, yeah, it fits. Look at that. Ah, it's beautiful. Oh, I love this, except for this lid. Ah, okay. I'm reporting this lid. I am absolutely not going to be defeated by this mold. Not going to happen. All right. But here we go. So this is so pretty. There is just this one, just this one hole right here. One little air bubble. It just mars the whole thing. But how gorgeous is that? I don't know. I think I'll figure that out. I'll figure out something to do with that. But gosh, everything else is just pristine and perfect. Those flowers are stunning. Oh, I love this. I mean, no bubbles here at all, just here. And I think it's because I was so nervous because it distorted last time that I just didn't give it enough of a tap. Goodness gracious. Okay. Lid and I are going to have a conversation offline, and I'm going to report this again. And this time it is going to, it's not going to defeat me. It's not. Okay, I'll be back for the demold of this. Actually, that's not true. I will pour this offline. We'll demold it, or I'll demold it offline. And then after everything is dry in a couple of days, I'll come back to you and we'll, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to paint this. It's so pretty, but I think I will. Just paint the flowers, maybe add a little bit of sparkle and shine into some of these lines, but more to come. All right, I'll see you in a few days. Hey everyone, so I had an idea, and I'm not sure if this is going to work, but I figured we would give it a try. So you know how we have, well, not how I, you guys didn't do anything wrong, how I have where there were bubbles, and so it has like these craters, like not even a little hole. That is a crater. I thought, why can't we treat it like if it was resin, tape it off, fill the holes, and see if they'll cure. So I have mixed up a very small amount of Resincrete, literally like the smallest amount you could possibly need. And I'm going to fill, there are 2 holes. There's one on each side. These are relatively small, but there's one on each side. I'm not sure if you can see them by the tape. And then I've taped them off, and then I'm going to try to just fill it and see what happens, right? I mean, worst case, it doesn't work. Best case, it's a fix. So let's see what happens. I've let this sit for a few minutes to kind of thicken up. It's not super thick yet, but I think it'll be okay. So I'm just going to try. I mean, I just need like not even a drop. That's the thing, is I just need this tiny, tiny, tiny amount. See if I can just get it down into the hole. And just wipe off the excess. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Okay, I mean, that looks pretty good from here. And anything that's just kind of left over on the top, we can just sand it off. If this works, I'm going to be so excited. It's pretty rare to get mini bubbles in Resincrete, but it does happen from time to time. Almost always user error. So let's see if we can make this work, because I would love to be able to save this lid. I've done it 3 times. And yeah, I'd love to be able to save it. So I don't know if you can see it. I'll show you a close-up and see. Okay. I have filled those holes and they look really good for right now. Let's give it, you know, half an hour and then we can take a look. But so far, I think that looks great. I mean, the holes look pretty flush. They look pretty filled. I don't know. We'll see. More to come. I'll meet you back here in half an hour and we'll take a look. Let's see what happens. Okay. So finished product is not 1,000% perfect. There's still, like you can see, a little bit right there, which I could probably go back and add a little bit more Resincrete to make it absolutely flush. But I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And I've been wrestling with, do I want to paint it? I don't. I am a simple girl and I like the simplicity of it. I like the beauty and the way it feels. And I have color in my world and I don't need any more. So I am gonna leave it just like this. I think that it is absolutely perfect, just the way that it is. And yeah, I'm really happy with how this turned out. And I think it's absolutely gorgeous. So I'm gonna leave it. Thank you guys for taking some time to hang with me and watch this video. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you be a member of our channel and hang out and explore the wide world of resin and Resincrete and all the fun things that go with it.